I've been doing this course that's offered for free from Alberta Healthcare, and they are using this textbook and they're showing the plate method. So if you're not familiar with the plate method of deciding what your food should look like rather than the pyramid, that's been the newest thing. I still don't care for it, but it's not really bad. I've tried to make a meal today which somewhat replicates the plate anyway, and I will do that for the next few days to show you just how varied your diet can be with that. It can be very healthy, and that's a lot of people will say the same thing about all sorts of diets, like say the Atkins diet. They say you can eat very healthy on the Atkins diet. You can also eat very unhealthy, and it's the same thing with the plate. And let's say, for example, you picked this. With the plate method, you have, they advise you to have a glass of, well, some source of dairy with your meal. They suggest a glass of something, like it could be yogurt or whatever, right? And so you think, oh, okay, well, I can have a yogurt smoothie sort of thing, and that'll be healthy. Well, you might choose this, and those are the ingredients on it. And it might not look too bad to you, but I think you can do better. And when the package has these cute little faces on it, I kind of think, all right, well, that's maybe aimed at a certain age group that is not going to notice the ingredients list. And when I tried feeding this to Paris, she said no, not good. And she loves yogurt. So, we're not going to eat this. Neither of us are. James is going to have grapes and kiwi for dessert, because it does suggest having some sort of fruit for dessert with your meal. And it suggests having at least 2. Mine looks more like it because I'll put it how they have it in the book. Because half of your plate is supposed to be covered with vegetables. And they suggest at least 2 different kinds of vegetables. They don't say which kinds or whatever. I mean, I could have put iceberg lettuce here, which I will at some point, but not for this meal. I have used it for James's meal. But anyway, the plate, you have half of your plate is vegetables, which, I mean, if you're trying to lose weight and you just eat spaghetti squash like this, even though, like, I've made these beets myself, and I pickled them I used a little bit of stevia to sweeten the brine, and some thyme. So it's very simple, kind of beet, and delicious, but the squash is not going to be very good on its own. I'm gonna have to eat like a little bite of my patty, which I've made with sprouted peas, which I cooked and then pureed, and with the food processor, and then I'm just moving over for James, and then I put in, what else did I put in those patties? Oh, tahini and turmeric and thyme. You know what, I can't remember, but anyway, they're delicious and they hold together really well. And there's my serving of dairy. And honestly, the least healthy part of my meal is the serving of dairy. And you're asking, well, where's my fruit? Well, this baby food. Now, if you can sit down, James. If you get these baby foods, you can put them in your backpack when you're hiking. Say you're on an overnight hike or something. Well, this is easy, hey? And then you have your water bottle that you hike with. And those are my plant pots drying over there. I got tired and I was just like, oh, that's it. That's how I'm going to stack those pots. And then that's my greens protein powder. So I can have a jar that I pack with me in my backpack that I can have a screw-on lid, and my water bottle, and one of these, and then I have a smoothie just ready to go at any time. And let's see if I can get that ingredient. There we go. That's the ingredient list on that one. And That's not nearly as bad as that little yogurt was. And so that's my fruit. And that's easy. So if I'm tired and I don't have energy to make anything, well, I still have that smoothie, and there's a bunch of vegetable stuff in that greens powder that's awesome. And I'm eating a totally sugar-free meal here, as is James. So he'll have some fructose, of course, in his fruit, but he has the fiber in his fruit so that the sugar is slowly absorbed into the bloodstream rather than quickly, and he'll feel fine with it. Now this is homemade ketchup. This one I made sweetened with pear juice. So how do you like the pear juice one, James?
It's pretty darn good. They're all pretty darn good.
Yeah, sometimes I make them with stevia, sometimes I've sweetened them with apple juice, and he seems to like them all.
Yep.
So he has this on an onion bun. So we both have the patty. His is on an onion bun with 2 different colors of bell pepper, pickled beets instead of, I could have given him pickled pickles, like cucumbers, but I didn't. Because I wanted to keep our meals very similar. And this will taste great on the burger too, I can guarantee, because the thyme turmeric flavoring in the patty itself with the thyme beet, excellent. And we're both eating a couple slices of radish, and he's having sauerkraut. My probiotic source is in my greens powder, and that is one of the main problems I have with the plate method and other diets, is they do not seem to even care at all, even recognize that probiotics are important. So James is eating sauerkraut, which is homemade, it's stored in the fridge, and it's full of probiotic bacteria. And this cheese I pilfered from a buffet sort of dinner that I went to, and just so that I could show you this plate method, because I don't have a lot of dairy around. I could use that yogurt every time, but I don't want to. So anyway, I'm using different kinds of cheeses, and we're actually going to eat these cheeses, whereas I don't want to eat that yogurt. And I'm not really keen on eating the cheeses. Well, I love it, but it's not good for my cholesterol, I'm sure, and so I cut out cheese for a long time. I'm just eating it for this week, and then I'm going to go on a detox once the week is through. So I'm kind of treating myself, because I love cheese. Anyway, and the other vegetable here is iceberg lettuce, which, not great. But he's going to just drink water with his meal, and we'll see how the meal goes. James will let you know. He's pretty honest about how much he actually likes the food. So we'll set this down here. Whoop. Is it an angle? There he is. Let's see, James, how do you like it? Oh, and you can put the ketchup if you like, or you don't have to.
Well, I'll just start off with the beets.
In the meantime, I'm going to mix this up and show everybody how you can very easily make a smoothie while you're hiking by packing along baby food.
Beets are just about right. That's awesome.
Oh, you're not going to eat them with the patty. Well, you're probably scared they'll fall off, and then you'll,
yeah. Exactly right. And once they hit the deck, they've gone to heck, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and you can make your patties with sprouted teff if you want to, and then they're actually a weight loss thing, rather than, because teff helps promote weight loss, rather than some of the other grains to hold your patty together. Because a lot of the time, if you're accustomed to making veggie burgers, as I am, often you just want to go for the breadcrumbs because it's easy and cheap, or cost nothing, you know. We get our bread for free, so, and everyone can, if they want to, go to the Salvation Army Furniture Depot and pick up free bread. Anyway, but I'm really tired. For some reason, I couldn't take a nap this morning. Oh,
Lose the dogs.
Oh, were they? rambunctious?
Yeah, we're awful.
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to move my textbook from the course because they're lending it to us and I don't really want to wreck it. I really have to fix this table. Am I shaking you too much? I could move and do this.
If I were subject to motion sickness, so it might bother me.
There we go. I still have a little bit at the bottom, so I'll have to, when I drink it, I'll have to mix it a little bit. But that's my smoothie. So that's a good hiker's smoothie right there. Baby food and, I mean, you're going to have your water bottle with you anyway. And your protein powder of choice. Or like greens powder, like I prefer. And I love these.
Yeah, these are about the strength I like.
Yeah, sometimes I put too much stevia and stuff like that. I just put a tiny little bit with this batch.
Or cloves.
Oh, I didn't put any cloves.
No, but that's what I mean.
Oh, you don't like the cloves, yeah.
They seem to be way too strong for my palate. So.
Yeah, I know. James doesn't like the ones that I make with cloves. But
Well,
he's told me many times.
Digest.
Yeah.
Got GERD.
But he likes these ones with thyme.
Sauerkraut is usually great.
Yeah, I don't think I made a batch yet that you didn't like.
It's one of the first things I eat. No, usually I save the stuff I like the best till later, but because it's kind of sour, you kind of first and then buffered after.
Yeah, I think beets are about my favorite thing.
Beets?
Yeah, they're delicious.
If they're done, I guess, with time or something like that, they're good. Yeah, I wonder how many cancer-fighting properties the cabbage has when it's in sauerkraut. Do you make it out of kale or just out of cabbage? Sorry.
I did try making it with kale. I did not like it.
Okay.
It's great with the red cabbage.
Yeah.
It's just as good. And
I wonder if you could make Brussels sprouts.
Well, I can try it this fall for
cauliflower.
you.
You know what I'm
sauerkraut.
saying? Because sauerkraut, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, definitely. I just didn't have enough this year to...
Yeah.
I mean, we had so much cabbage to work with. That...
Of course, Brussels sprouts are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So I think it's probably best just to save that for special things. And not make them in the sauerkraut. And that would apply, like, sometimes cauliflower kind of tastes like cabbage to me, or broccoli, so a little less so. But those are pretty expensive anyway. They kind of liven up a salad, so...
when I made these patties, I would have preferred to put in some kale pulp. I didn't have any. But they'd be great with kale pulp in them. They're also good with chopped up, like if you soak walnuts and then you rinse them and put them in the food processor and mix them in with the patty, they're good.
How about spinach sauerkraut? You ever tried that? It might be very bad.
Well, the leaves soften.
Oh yeah? Well, that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing.
No, it wouldn't be good for the spinach. You need a firmer kind of leaf to...
Oh, okay.
work with in the
So in
first
other
place.
words, lettuce wouldn't work. Not that you'd want to waste your time because there's so few goodies in lettuce, I gather.
I mean, I tried with Swiss chard, and that was
Oh, there
not,
we go. That would be
That
similar.
was, yeah, it didn't work.
Hmm.
Because I had a fair amount of Swiss chard to work with, too.
Well,
I mean,
couldn't
I
you
ate
make a
it,
mush
but
out of it? Is that how it ended up like?
it ended up sort of like, I don't know, the leaves darkened to an unpleasant kind of darkness.
Okay.
And it ended up thin and, yeah, not good. It just was not a good texture.
How about the taste, though? About the same as salt?
I ate it. All I did was I put it with, like when I made Mrs. Noodle's sort of dish, I put a blob of that on top and it was fine.
This is pretty darn good even without the relish. I'm going to try it with the relish. But
with the ketchup? Yeah.
Yeah, the ketchup rather. It kind of tastes like, your ketchup is kind of like a combination of relish and ketchup, which is so much better, right?
Yeah.
Don't you figure? In some ways it reminds me more of relish, really. And that's not a bad thing. Just duck it. But not like duck, thank heavens. That's one of the worst things to eat.
Yeah, I think my grandma made that one
Duck.
year.
You mean like
greasy.
at Thanksgiving or stuff like that?
Yeah,
It's
they wanted
greasy.
to try it, I think.
Ducks are such nice
people.
that
Yeah,
it's
just appreciate the fact that they live in the world.
Yeah.
Don't eat them.
Of course, chickens are pretty nice people too, but ducks are especially. Geese aren't nearly as nice as ducks, but you don't want to eat goose either. It's pretty nasty.
Honestly, I don't think I ever have.
Yeah. The worst ever, grizzly bear meat.
Really? You've tried that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Was that up with your family that lives in the mountains?
No.
They ate grizzly bear meat.
I wouldn't recommend it. I think it'd be unhealthy. Don't eat predators. Well, they hardly predatory, right? And, like they were close enough to civilization. Bears roam pretty far. They could have been eating garbage. Lord only knows what was in it. So there was a lot of fat on that meat.
That wasn't bad.
But maybe I should say there was a little bit of meat along with the fat.
But yeah, I can't do any more of that. Just like that. That's just not good.
What, that smoothie?
No, that wasn't bad. I drank the whole
Oh,
thing.
that's amazing. You can't do any more of it.
Well, I'll need to shake it out with water so I get all the nutrients out of it because I don't want to waste them.
No. I do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I get down to the dregs. We're missing all the way. But so long as it makes the cancer cells grimace even more, I'm pretty happy about it.
Oh, I also put onion in these patties, so we're also eating onion as one of our vegetables.
Yeah, you'd mentioned the onion. There were quite a few cancer killers in here. Well, at least two. I presume the peppers are. Were they on the chart though? Peppers for that particular type of cancer?
I mean, they're loaded with vitamin C.
Vitamin C, so they've got to help out.
Antioxidant.
And cabbage, the sauerkraut. And the beets are like some of the top killers going for my type of cancer.
We don't have any garlic in this meal though.
You didn't have any garlic in that, did you?
Mm-mm.
I just guess you didn't
You
want
never
to be
know with me.
grimacing on camera.
No.
That's cruel and unusual.
No, I've been having my garlic just for supper lately.
But the worst is the ginger. Yeah, that's amazing.
I have that in the morning.
Yeah. Wow. What a way to start the day. But so long as it kills what ails you, I guess it's worth it. Oh, this is one of the best burgers I've ever had. Top notch.
He says that almost every time he has a burger, so.
And then, well,
But definitely, oh, this is so good. God, I've missed cheese.
you notice I didn't even have to put the cheese on the burger.
I gave you twice as much cheese as me, at least.
You can see that I'm going to eat a little bit. I don't want to become or succumb to lactose intolerance.
My favorite thing in the world. I think this is why a lot of people go vegetarian. They're like, oh, as long as you don't take my cheese away, I'm happier. But right now is a good time of year to make loads and loads of veggie burger patties for the summer. So that's what I like to do this time of year. I get a lot of burger patties ready, and then they're in the freezer because I have a lot of freezer space this time of year because we've already went through a lot of the fruit for like with smoothies and stuff. So yeah, and I make protein bars this time of year too. And put those in the freezer. And that's that. So
See, a bit of the burger made it to the deck, but they'll just feed the magpies. It won't make them fat or anything.
No. Anyway. So that's our deck dinner for March the 24th, 2018.